Okay, Joanna McCoy, if that really is your name.
It is.
If you've seen our show before, you know that when Dave and I travel around, we eat a lot of really good food.
It's research.
Yes,
Of course.
but it's not always about the food. It's sometimes about the history of a place or what it means to a community or the significance of a place or the backstory. This place has all of that. The Bomber Restaurant in Ypsilanti is like an icon in this area, right?
It is. It is. For quite a long time.
I mean, since how many years?
Well, it started in 1932. It was Mrs. Baldwin Steiner, and she eventually changed it to the Bomber when she started serving food for all the people who migrated up here to work in the bomber plants.
So 1932, so pre-World War II. So this was
Just a
around
diner,
during
just
the,
a regular diner, and with all the people coming up here, because there were so many people, and people do not realize how much Ypsilanti did for World War II.
Oh, yeah.
There were people who were giving up rooms in their homes for people to live in so they could work at the plant. I've talked to some of the women that came up here, and we have a good following of Rosies. We have at least 8 to 10 original Rosies that come in at least once a month.
That's awesome. So the men and women that worked at the plant would come here for their...
They would come here for breakfast or whatever shift it was, because it used to be open 24/7. They would come in for their first meal, and then Mrs. Baldwin would bag up a sack lunch or dinner or breakfast for the next day for them to have at the bomber plant.
What was the special that they ate? The Bomber?
We made what we call the bomber breakfast, and that was on the Food Network channel.
To drop it out of one of these planes?
Yeah, just about. It's a bomb for sure. We were on the top 5 overindulgences for Food Network channel.
That's why I brought Dave.
That's right.
For the high school and college football players, you would think that they would go for the bomber breakfast. They don't. The runners, the swimmers,
Need those
they
carbs.
go for the bomber breakfast.
Need those carbs.
Yeah. Bomber breakfast, they do, we have a full stack of pancakes, which are, each pancake's the size of a dinner plate. We don't do anything small here.
Well, the other cool thing about this place is the history on the walls, not just hanging from the ceiling. That's a lot of airplane glue, but anyway.
It is. Everything's been donated.
Really?
I have always been a World War II, 1940s buff. So some of that stuff was on the walls that are mine. And then people just started donating things. The bomb that we have is a practice bomb, and they found it in the basement of a house they were going to destroy. And they asked if I would like it, and of course, I'm not going to turn anything down. If somebody wants to donate it to me, I'm going to take it.
Well, plus you look at you look into the eyes of a lot of the people on the walls, and you can sort of see their story. You can feel their story.
Not only their story, but we try to get local family members. And when we first started doing it, we had a lady who donated a picture of her father, and he's passed, and she would come in every Sunday to have breakfast with her dad.
I see a lot of the pictures of the bombers on the wall, and I'm imagining that some of those bombers were made right here in Ypsilanti. And a lot of those pictures are also signed. What's the story there?
The signed pictures, there's 2 of them that we have that are signed. It's from the crew of the bomber plane that is flying now.
Oh yes, because you can actually see that plane at Willow Run.
At Willow
even
Run
today.
Yep. And the air show is this weekend.
Oh, bonus! And that Bomber sign behind the counter.
It was originally on the restaurant, and then when they sold it, the new owner wanted to change it completely. So he took all the stuff off of the front of the face of the restaurant, threw it in the dumpster, and one of the regular customers decided, that's kind of cool, I'm going to take it, put it in his barn, and then when we took it back over, he asked if we would display it, we could have it. So
Well,
those are original.
You mentioned some of the Rosies coming here, which is really cool. Do you ever have any of the folks who actually, I suppose they would have actually been working in the
Oh
plant.
yeah, these are all local women who have worked on the bomber, in the bomber plant, and in different areas. But we have at least 8 to 10 originals that still come. We just lost 3 this last year. But one of ours, just celebrated. She just turned 102
Wow.
this month. So
Ypsilanti. What do you love about Ypsilanti?
it's my home, born and raised, which is funny because I love this town. I mean, it's a small town. It's starting to revise itself and be reborn, which is very encouraging with a lot of young people and a lot of young families. There's a lot to see around this area.
Yeah, you know what I love about towns like this, and you really put it well, but they're coming back, but they're still their real self, you know, their authentic self. Ypsi real. You know,
Ypsi real.
it's real because what you see here, you feel like you're a local when you're here. And I love being in places like that.
Yeah,
Well, it's funny too because like I said, I was born and raised here and went back to a reunion, and one of my girlfriends, who I thought was really my girlfriend, she was like, "You're still here?" And I was like, "I don't have a reason to leave."
well, Ypsi's got a personality all its own, like no other city. And that's I went to Eastern too. It's one of the colleges. I think they asked me to leave, but anyway, it's one of the yeah. So I've got some history here too, and I just love this town. I love the real earthiness. I love the people, the creativity.
Yeah, we're just down home, honest people, and you know that's all I want to
Well,
live in. You know.